Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1972. This is going to be a quick video because the fact that SmackDown will be coming up in less than half an hour, and the WWE draft. It's very, very important, the WWE draft. And they'll be having matches. I know the main event tonight on SmackDown will be the Undisputed Tag Team titles in a rematch as the Usos challenge Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This will be their first title defense in the rematch. So before their big six-man tag match against the Bloodline at Backlash as Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle to face the Usos and Solo Sikoa. So that's the case. So we're going to talk about what happened just recently. I just got done watching AEW Rampage. Check it out. Sean Spears and Ricky Starks went up against Bullet Club Gold. That will be the team of the Switchblade Jay White and Mr. Tony Storm himself, Mr. Juice Robinson, and Bullet Club Gold. Bullet Club. I think I wrote Gold so fast I forgot to. Bullet Club Gold picked up the victory. And then Juice Robinson and Ricky Starks brawled after the bell. That's how it all started between those two gentlemen. And they'll face each other this Wednesday. And then Lexi Nair interviewed the Hardys and Hook. And without Isaiah Cassidy, the firm somehow kidnapped him. And then Ethan Page's like, you do what I say and we'll let him go. And if not, fine. So the firm deletion at the Hardy compound. It's going to be a main event match. It's going to be crazy. And he's like, well, Big Bill, let him go, and let him go. And Stokely Hathaway and Lee Moriarty is wearing a new Hikaru Shida shirt. I gotta find that shirt. And then Naturally Limitless, that's Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, go up against Brady Pierce and Charlie James, no relation to Mickey James. And Keith Lee, who looks a little bit more like Uncle Phil, my friend Corey Mitchell, because I just got done covering AEW Rampage for Jordy Scow on his live reaction stream, and he said they look like Uncle Phil. I said, you put Mark Henry and Keith Lee together as a tag team to be known as the Uncle Phil Order, the UPO, the Uncle Phil Order, Fresh Prince for life. Well, anyways, and and Naturally Limited, and then after the matchup, Mogul Embassy showed up. We got Swerve Strickland with the Gates of Agony. That will be Khan and Toa Leona, along with Prince Nana and Brian Cage. So I think Swerve Strickland aligned himself with Prince Nana, Nani freaking Boo Boo. Anyways, then Lexi Nair interviews Sammy Guevara, and Tymella goes, you gotta go, right? And she's a little upset for Sammy Guevara trying to make an alliance with MJF. And for once, Tymella is speaking the truth. For once, Tymella is being reasonable. You can't trust MJF. You can't. Sammy Guevara, I don't know what the heck you can't trust MJF. Why don't you do this? Walk out on MJF, make it a fatal four-way, because they have a big four pillars matchup. And if Jungle Boy and Darby Allin did pick up the victory over MJF and Guevara, it'll be a fatal four-way at Double or Nothing for the AEW World Heavyweight title. So MJF better be thinking about is one. MJF, I'll tell you what. I'm so glad Tony Khan decided to butt in this one. And and also next week, actually May the 10th, actually, it will be Jon Moxley one-on-one with Kenny Omega inside a steel cage. That match is good. Before I go on to talk about the rest of what's happening on this card here, I made a little error last night on Rant and Rave when I talked about Trinity Fatu, formerly known as Naomi, would be making her Impact debut on last night's Impact show. Apparently she did not, but there is a confirmation though that she signed the contract with Impact Wrestling. So I don't know if when I read would be a taped match that or they say, well, it could be the major announcement, the major surprise next week. Would it be that? Who knows for sure. So we'll find out next week on Impact what goes. So I do apologize for making that little error on that one. So I better read my resources a little bit better next time. So check it out. Women's action. Anna J.A.S. went up against Ashley D'Amboise. Anna J.A.S. won the matchup, but the lights went out. Lights went back on. Julia Hart appears. She attacked Anna J from behind. Both women started brawling. And then the Outcasts. That's Saraya, Ruby Soho, and the lovely, gorgeous, curvaceous Toni Storm. Addressing Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, but also Saraya addressed her opponent, Willow Nightingale, for this Wednesday. And the way Toni Storm boxed like a dog. And she's so cute. I love Toni Storm. You know who's about as hot as Toni Storm in AEW? Harley Cameron. I said this because Harley Cameron puts the QT in QTV. No, I ain't talking about QT. I'm not talking about QT Fire Marshal Bill. I'm talking about Cutie. She's a cutie. Zion Quinn. Again, my hat is off to you, sir. Once again, I'm telling you. Zion Quinn and Juice Robinson got to be two of the luckiest dudes ever, meaning marrying two of the most beautiful blonde babes from Australia. Let me tell you something. Now, the Iconics, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, but Harley Cameron and Toni Storm, Lord have mercy. If they weren't married, that's all I'm going to say. Shut up, Eric, before you lie down before you hurt yourself, Lima. All right. And the Acclaim did a little rap with Billy Gunn, and then went up against Ryzen and two dudes that they didn't mention. And Ryzen and two dudes. That's what I'm calling them. Ryzen, two dudes, and they go, Acclaim and Billy Gunn beat them. And then Mark Henry, the other Uncle Phil lookalike, interviewed FTR and Team Slapnuts, I like to call them. Team Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Sanjay Dutt. And Jay Lethal calls Mark Henry a moron. You don't do that. Dude, that's the world's strongest man who you were talking to, man. I mean, Jay Lethal, what are you thinking, bro? You know what? You know what's going to happen? Do you know what's exactly going to happen? Mark Henry will probably flatten you out like lightning, man. I'll tell you one thing. With that world's strongest slam, he would take you out in a second. And I don't mean on a date either. Let me tell you. But in this matchup, though, that's coming up next. Mark Briscoe has been a special enforcer for the main event match. And because the main event match was Cash Wheeler, one-on-one with Jay Lethal. Cash Wheeler it was a good matchup, but then Cash Wheeler was shoved into Mark Briscoe because Sanjay Dutt, aka Sanjay Butthead, tried to cheat a couple of times. And Jay Lethal ended up picking up the victory with the lethal injection. So, and that's all I'm going to say on that matter. And like I said, coming up next, the WWE Draft, SmackDown, Night 1, and then it goes over to Monday Night Raw this coming Monday, May the 1st. So, we're ending April, and we're going into May. That's right. It's going to be May. And I've enjoyed thoroughly this video. So, I've enjoyed doing this video. And I want to thank Jordy Scow for allowing me to take over for his channel, actually not take over, but fill in for him as the host for the AEW Live Reaction Rampage. I've been honored to do that. Once again, check out his channel, J-Man's Legit. If you like any of the videos that he does, he'll do Chilling with Jordy's episode and whatnot. I know, and I think he'll be back next week to do the another AEW Live Reaction. So I want to thank Jordy Scow for allowing me to fill in for him and pinch hit for him. So hope you enjoy your vacation, Jordan. Hopefully to see you back. So that's all the time we have on this show. Episode 532 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Coming up next will be the 533rd episode. We'll talk about some SmackDown NXT Level Up. All right then. So that's all the time. So you guys have a good day. Good night, and until the next episode comes around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.